Hey gang, it's Seth. Normally, I take time and decompress and externalize before I do a video, but I want to do this because this upset me. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to go, I don't know, not long into this video. This is more of a rant and a vent. I apologize. There will likely be profanity. I'll put a warning up because I generally try not to do that. But again, generally speaking, the videos you see of mine are after I kind of externalize it, maybe write a little bit about it, watch a couple videos to, again, get sense of it, hear the words outside so I don't sound like a fool, and not be angry and off point. When I speak, I try to speak for a purpose, not to hear myself think, not to hear myself talk, I should say. So, I apologize for what will be not too typical of me. So let's start going with this. Um,
Out racism, police, and protesting, let's unpack what's been happening
let's unpack, but I want to unpack this on 1.5 speed.
in America, which is highlighting similar issues we have in Australia too. I watched the video of George Floyd dying. I saw the whole 9 minutes. It's one
I
of the
did
worst
too.
and most disturbing things I've clicked on.
We agree.
I fucking hate racism.
Now that's where all of a sudden, bam! You have one white guy with 3 non-whites who kneels on a black man and kills him, and you have a retard like this saying it's an issue of racism. This is an issue of some cop who is a murderous asshole. This is an issue of a murderer. If it was racist, why didn't the black cop step in and do anything, you moron? This is the kind of asinine stuff where you pretend and think you're dancing around in some world where you're causing unity and you're dividing everybody apart. It's ridiculous. We do not have a, I hope this sinks in, we don't have a problem with racism in America today. We have had historical systematic racism that is acknowledged. Today, it is 2020. We don't have a problem with racism or systematic racism in America. We have a problem, not even a major problem. We have a problem with some racists, black and white, Latino, Chinese. We may even have some Japanese racists in America. Spoiler alert. They don't like the Chinese in a lot of places, and that gets carried over into here because of their culture of war. What do I know? It's only when a white cop kneels on a black dude that racism, if you're a retard, this is the kind of, you have to be a freaking retard to not see evidence, or you have to be willing to say, there's the evidence there that I could watch. I could watch the video of the 3 other cops who are not white, but no, I want to be a retard. I want to selectively choose to retard myself and make myself as ignorant and lacking of knowledge as I can. And then I'm going to say that about the United States because I'm stupid.
Down here, I would hear derogatory terms being used against Aboriginal Australians as I grew up. Primary school and high school peers, late 90s edgelords, learnt it from their parents or family. They also learned the attitudes and ethics and feelings beneath the words. They're in their mid-30s now and passing down words and ethics and feelings to their kids.
I want to slow down this part so it sinks in.
Racism is passed down.
Racism is passed down with the implication
That's not complex.
being that
Solutions can be complex.
it's a larger part of the white problem. Because keep in mind, none of this is going to have to do with black racism. None of this is going to have to do with, I'm going to make sure I'm
passing down words and ethics and feelings to their kids.
It's passed
It's
down.
ethics and feelings beneath.
But only to white people. That's the problem when racism is passed on to white people. So I'm going to share a little story. I had to call my older brother. My brother does not, we are not on good terms. I'm a Trump supporter, and so I'm a Nazi racist fascist. All overnight when I supported Trump with a lot of people. Like the Steve they knew died and became racist Trump supporter. Anyway, because that makes sense. I had to call my brother. It was very awkward because we are not close. And I had to ask him about this because with all this going on, I had a dream. And it felt real like dreams do. But something wasn't sticking. So I was thinking about it. And I had to call my brother and ask him, did this happen? Because it's messed up. And I only remember chunks of it. And it was when we were younger. And he said, yeah. And he told me about it from his perspective. So I'm going to give you the long story short about how racism is passed down on 2 different aspects, on how this shows how retarded and ignorant you are. We were at a baseball stadium, me and my brother. He says I was probably 10 in the 4th grade. Okay. The long of it is, we were at a baseball park, me, my brother, and a guy we went to school with. I'm going to call him retarded Australian. So me and retarded Australian and my brother were hanging out at this baseball park when a group of black people who had an older, again, this is all super vague and pieced together between what my brother said, an older black, I'm going to guess maybe 19 or 20 at the time, so my brother was probably 12 or 13. I was 10. And the long of it is, there was a group of black people. I don't remember how many because I was old. A group aging from anywhere between 6 and the 18, 20 range. And in essence, they had to say, hey, you black kids can go and beat up. Now, the stupid, retarded Australian guy right here, my friend, stupid, retarded Australian I was hanging out with, he was historically short, man. We always used to make fun of him. That's what we did as kids. I was short as a kid, and I made fun of him for being short. So he's there with his bike, and they say, hey, we're going to beat you up and take your bike and smash it. So they literally, and they look at my brother. My brother was he's 6'9" right now. He's a pretty big guy at the time. He said, if any of you try to do something, we're going to beat your ass. So then they proceeded to call that white piece of shit, how, yeah, this is, because you're fucking white, beat it. They had a kids walk up and punch Rob in the face and said to me and my brother, if you do anything, we're going to punch you in the face. So eventually, and this is what's sad, me and my brother just left. We ran. Tried to go get help from a neighbor that we knew was as close as we could because we didn't live by the baseball park, so we couldn't just run home. And they proceeded to beat the shit out of him, racially taunt him, break his bike, tear his bike apart, hit him with the bike. To this day, because it was so long ago, I don't even know what happened to him. Don't know. I know, however, racism is passed down, right? So my buddy, stupid, retarded Australian on my screen, I don't know why I'm saying on the screen, but stupid, retarded Australian on the screen will say, my buddy is racist because it was passed down. Now, think about a 10-year-old being held down and just beat up by black people, spit on, told how you're a white piece of shit, you deserve this because you're white. As a 10-year-old, do you think his parents made him racist? My stupid, retarded Australian guy was made racist by it? Or was it the fact that he was held down and beat up and abandoned by his friends because black people were tormenting him because of his race? But he's probably the asshole racist, right? More importantly, racism is passed down. Where do you think those black people who beat the crap out of him and tormented him like that learned that? It was passed down. But I'm going to watch the rest of this video, and I want to watch when you talk about those things. When we talk about, as I mentioned, Chinese and Japanese hostilities and how that carries over to the U.S. because of atrocities carried on in countries before the U.S. was even a country. But that's irrelevant. You stupid freaking retard. Let's hear about how he mentions about blacks or any other races.
Now and passing down words and ethics and feelings
back up.
to their kids.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to last about
Racism is passed
2 minutes
down.
because of this.
That's not complex. Solutions can be
Racism
complex
is
because you can't
passed down.
control or censor ethics parents teach kids. But you can't erase history either. You can't erase the fact that African
And you can't live in
Native
history
Americans,
either.
Aboriginal Australians
Seeing
had their
racism
heritage
and
culture
shit
fucked up,
everywhere.
Shattered. Dominated. This context is important.
Yeah, it is.
I'm saying it from the outset because it's a big reason why Black Lives Matter resonates with white wankers like yours truly.
I grew up here just like you in the fucking south, deep shit south to Queen, Arkansas, and I understand racial inequality.
And I actually spent a lot of time as a toy
No, you
making
don't
Papua New
because
Guinea
you're
on an island
white.
called
Oh,
Bougainville,
unless you
which
agree,
is
though.
pretty
If you
funny.
agree
So
Black
I
Lives
grew up
Matter,
in
then
the
you
butts and
have a
bosoms
place.
of black Sheila.
But if you don't agree, then you're a white racist and keep your mouth shut.
Anyway,
Be an ally, not someone who has their own opinion.
I don't have white guilt. I'm not virtue signaling. I'm just opening
You are
this critical
virtue
analysis by
signaling
saying history
and
is an
ignorant of
important
it.
fucking context
God, man.
for the present tense and the future. Seeing George
can't even
Floyd's
watch
slow
this.
death.
I
and
can
thinking
tolerate
of
this
racism
more than I can
is
this
not
idiot.
imagined
This man
or a
did not.
stretch.
This man did not deserve to die. I want it clear from again. This man was killed by a police officer in the presence of 3 other police officers. We could dance and traipse about what the actual nature of the crime is, but I'm not. He was wrongfully murdered. He did not need to die. It's that simple. Those cops should be held accountable for whatever the crime is, blah, blah, blah.
The psychological ingredients of
And
racism
this makes me
may
angry.
seep
This
out in his
idiot.
body language when you look at Derek Chauvin, okay? Dominance, control, attempting to make it look blasé and effortless because he's superior. His demeanour is what leaves a lasting sick feeling in your stomach. It's not overt words. A duty of care and
Everything
apprehension is
about
thrown
that
out the
left
window.
a disgusting
In Australia,
feeling.
there's over
What that he reminded me of, and I thought it was so eerie, and I'm going to end the video after this here. I've watched videos of like lions, sometimes leopards, who like kill. They have their prey and they kill it, and they just watch. They just sit. The thing's sitting there struggling under it. They got the paw under it, and it's just relaxing. It exerted all that energy getting the prey down, that guy was a fucking animal treating another human being like an animal. That's what that was. Disturbing. You have to be messed up at many levels to be able to do that. With that, I don't even know I don't want to call him an officer. That murderer's name did. I'm going to end it here because I think I've got it out. I would like to know your thoughts. Thank you for listening if you've made it this far, and thank you if you have something constructive to say. And if you have the whole comment about how I'm a Nazi, blah, 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 I'm going to just tell you right now, you can fuck right off. You fucking morons. This is going to be the most vile, profanity-ridden video I've ever made. And it doesn't feel good to make. It feels good to have gotten it out. Go easy, gang. Don't be stupid, ignorant Australians like I hung out with at the park that one day. Fucking morons.